Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we are going to do one end-to-end Azure data engineering projects, and this is the retail projects. So we are working for the retail clients, and the clients has given us certain requirement. So based on the requirement, we are going to build end-to-end Azure data engineering solution. So what are the skills and what are the tools we are going to use here? We are going to use Azure Data Factory for the data pipeline. We are going to use a data lake as a Azure Data Lake storage. We are going to use a Databricks for the multiple data set creation, and also we are going to use a Power BI for the visualization. So end-to-end Azure data engineering projects we are going to do. How actually we work in a real time in a company. Whenever we work in a company, we get a requirement from our clients. Based on the requirement, what actually we do? First, we try to understand the requirement. We try to understand the requirement. After understanding, we see the data, whether all the data is available or not. After that, we think about the solutioning part, and after that, we build end-to-end data pipeline. So this is how actually we work in a real time. Here also we are going to follow in the same way. So let's first understand the business requirement. You think like this is the requirement you got from your clients. We had to build end-to-end data pipeline and solution for the retail clients. So we are working for the retail clients, and for this retail clients we had to provide end-to-end data pipeline and the solutions. Means we had to build end-to-end solution for this. We have a data coming from a multiple data sources, and we need to bring the data into a data lake. Means in this retail clients we have a multiple data sources. We have a multiple data sources, and what actually we had to do, we had to bring all this data into a data lake. That is our first requirement. And after that it is saying like we have a transaction data available in Azure SQL. So we have a Azure SQL. In this Azure SQL we have a transaction related data. We have a store and the products data available in Azure SQL. In Azure SQL we have a transaction data, we have a product data, and we have a store data. These are the data which is available in a Azure SQL. That is the first requirement. We have a customer data that is coming from API. We have another source that is a API. From API also we are getting a data that is a customer data in a JSON format. That is the requirement. And for that we had to build end-to-end data pipeline and the solution. So what actually it is saying, like we are working for the retail clients, and this retail clients we have a multiple data source. So you can see we have a transaction related data that is coming in a Azure SQL database. We have a some store related data that is also available in Azure SQL database. We have a few product related data that is available in Azure SQL database, and we have a few customer related data. This is a customer related data that is coming through a API as a JSON format. This is a API data that is coming in the JSON format. So we have a multiple data source. What we had to do, we had to bring all this data into one common place. We had to bring all this data into one common place, and for that what actually we will do, we will build a data pipeline. We will perform a ETL operation. So what actually we will do, from this Azure SQL database, whatever the data is available, and from the API whatever the data is available, we will create one data pipeline by using a Azure Data Factory. By using a Azure Data Factory, we will build one pipeline, and we'll try to bring all this data into a Azure Data Lake storage. That is the first operation we are going to do. So whenever you have a multiple data sources and you have to bring the data into a one place, what generally we do? We do a ETL operation. And in Azure space, if you have to perform a ETL operation, then we generally use a Azure Data Factory. In a Synapse also you can use a Azure Data Factory, or separately also you can create a Azure Data Factory. So what we will do, we will create a Azure Data Factory pipeline, and we'll try to bring all the data into a Azure Data Lake storage. So that is the first thing we are going to do. Now after that, once we have data in Azure Data Lake storage, what actually we are going to do, we will try to read this data. We will try to read this data with the help of Databricks. With the help of the Databricks. Now in the Databricks, what actually we will do, we will try to clean the data. We are going to follow the Medallion architecture. We are going to follow the Medallion architecture, and in industry most of the time this architecture follows. Means all the industry nowadays following the Medallion architecture, and that also we are going to follow in this particular project. So let's first understand what is Medallion architecture. So Medallion architecture you have to understand in a three layer. This is a three layer of data refinement, you can say. So in the Medallion architecture, what actually we do, you will generally see three layers. One is a bronze layer, the second is the silver layer, and third is the gold layer. Now let's understand one by one what is the bronze, silver and the gold. So in a bronze layer, so whatever the data we are fetching from this multiple source into ADLS, right? So generally what happens, this all the data is nothing but a, this is a bronze layer. This is a bronze layer. Means with the help of the Databricks, we will try to read as it is whatever the data is coming from multiple source. So that is nothing but a bronze layer. And most of the time what generally happens, we are fetching a data from multiple source, right? That generally is not a clean data. That is a messy data. Means that is not a clean. So whatever the data as it is, whatever it is coming from multiple source, we'll try to bring that data in Azure Data Lake storage. That is nothing but a, that is a bronze layer. That is the first layer. Now what is a silver layer? In a silver layer, what actually we do, we try to read the data from a bronze layer and we try to clean the data. Suppose null value is coming, suppose duplicate values are coming, this kind of the operation generally we do, we try to clean the data, we try to filter the data in a silver layer. So that is the second layer. Now in the third layer, so in third layer what generally we do, based on the business ask. So suppose business only ask, like they want to know how many transaction is happening, what are the product that are selling more, what is the product demand. So suppose if they are asking only this kind of the matrix, so based on this requirement only we will try to build a gold layer. Means based on the business ask only we will try to build the data. Means we will filter this data from the silver layer, and based on the business ask only we will build this gold layer, and this actually we will use for the visualization purpose from a Power BI perspective. So that's how in a Medallion architecture we work. Here also we are going to work in the same way. So with the help of the Databricks, what actually we'll do, we'll try to read whatever the data we are dumping in Azure Data Lake storage, and we are trying to build a bronze layer, silver layer, gold layer, and after gold layer we'll try to connect with the Power BI and we'll try to do a visualization. So this is a complete end-to-end solution we are going to do. So I hope you got the requirement. What actually we'll do, we'll try to create a Azure Data Factory. We are going to create a data pipeline. We are going to dump the data in Azure Data Lake storage. We are going to create a multiple data set using a Databricks, and also we are going to do a visualization in a Power BI. So this is the end-to-end solution we are going to do. So now let's come to the project setup. So for the project setup, what you have to do, project setup. First, we'll open a Azure account. In Azure account we will create a Azure SQL DB, and here we will be having a transaction data, right? We have a transaction data, and we have a store data, and also we have a product data. So we are going to create Azure SQL DB, and we are going to create this table for our project. And after that what we will do, we will create a ADLS account. In Azure we are going to create a data lake storage account, and here also we are going to create a container. So that are the steps we are going to do. Now I will also show, we have one API also. In a API also we have a customer related data. So I will show you. For the API what actually I have done, I have used a GitHub. In a GitHub I have stored the JSON data. So what actually we'll do, we'll create Azure SQL. We are going to create Azure Data Lake storage, and also we are going to create a Azure Data Factory for the pipeline. So let's do the practical one by one. So I open my Azure Data Factory. What actually we are going to do, we are going to create a SQL database. So in a search bar, search for the SQL database, click on the create, we are going to create a Azure SQL database. So what is the first thing you have to do, you have to first create a resource group. So if you haven't created any resource group, then what you have to do, you have to click on the create new, you have to give the name, and you have to click on the OK. One resource group will be created. I have also already created, so I'll select that one. Now after that we have to give the database name. What is the database? We are going to create a database, right? So I am giving the database name as a POC database. Make sure it should be in small letter. POC database retail something name I am giving. POC database retail, this is the SQL database I am going to create. After that, we also had to create a server. So click on the create new. I will give the server name as a POC server. You can also make sure it should be unique. After that, location you have to select. So I am going to select the location now, East US2, and after that the authentication, so that we will be able to log in. So click on the SQL authentication. I'll give the admin name and make sure you remember this so that you will be able to log in. I'll set up the password. I will set up the same password. So you can see I have given the admin name, I have given the password. Click on the OK. So this is going to create a server. This is going to create a server. After that, use a SQL Elastic Pool. No. Workload environment development. We are doing a practice. So development. Compute and storage. So here we will select the basic one because we are doing a practice. So you can see in a server I write basic. So click on the basic so that it will charge the minimum. And this is how actually I am going to use. Click on the apply and click on the next. We are going to use a public endpoint. Click on the yes. Click on the next. We will select the start free trial now. Click on the next. We are going to use few sample table also available, so we are going to use that. Click on the next, review and the create. Click on the create. It is going to create one SQL database for me, so it will take some time, so let's wait it to be complete. So you can see deployment is complete, so click on the go to resource. How actually you can log in? So in the left side you can see query editors. Click on that, and after that we are going to log in with our password which we have set up. So give that. After that, click on the OK. Once you will click on the OK, it is going to open a SQL database, and here only you can write all the query. So in the left side you can see all the tables will be presented. Now what actually we are going to do? We are going to create a 3 data set. So our project perspective, we have a transaction data, and we have a product data, and also we have a store data. This other data is available. So these 3 data we had to create. So what actually I have done, I have a script for that. I am going to use that. So let me copy this. I'll share this with you also so that you can also do that. Let me enter this. Now what actually we are going to do? We are going to create one product table. In a product table, we have a product ID, product name, category, and the price. Whatever the product we have, suppose Bluetooth speaker, what is the category? It is electronic. What is the price? So these are the things is mentioned in the product table. So that is the first table we are going to create. We are going to create second table, that is a store table. So we have a store in the multiple places, like we have a store in a Mumbai, we have a Delhi, we have a Bangalore. So that kind of the data we have in a store. Now we have a third, that is a transaction. So if any customer is doing any kind of the purchase or transaction, so that is available into the this transaction data. We have a product ID, transaction dates and all. So these are the things are available, and we are also using a foreign key concept, and we are inserting. So let me insert this. Click on, see it is succeed now. Now what actually we are going to do, let's see whether the table got created or not. So in the left side also you will be able to see what you have to do. You have to refresh it, then only it will be appear, or you can directly write a query. So we have created a multiple table, right? So let's see. Our first table is a transaction table or product table. Select start from products. If I'll execute this, you can see this is a product table, and similarly we have another table. One is store table. If I'll do select start from stores, if I'll execute, all the store table is available, and similarly we have a transaction table. Select start from transactions. If I'll execute this, all the transaction related data is available. So these are the three data is available. As of now, this data is available in a SQL DB. So these are our source. So if I'll show you from the project perspective, so we have a data, multiple data, right? We have a transaction related data in Azure SQL DB. We have a store data is available in Azure SQL DB. We have product data is available in Azure SQL DB. And also we have another source that is a customer in a API JSON. So let's see this. So our three source is ready, product, store and the transaction. Let me show you the another one. Now what I have done in a GitHub, right? This is a project. In a project only we have a customer data. So you can see this is the customer data. This is coming from a API. You can understand what we had to do from this particular URL. We had to fetch the data. So this is coming as a JSON format. You had to understand that. How actually you can fetch the data? So what you have to do, click on the raw, in the raw, right? So you understand it like this is a particular URL, and from this particular URL we have to fetch the data, and these are the customer data we have. So we have a three source, we have four source. These are the three table, and this is the one API which is coming the customer data. Means our source are ready. Now what we have to do, we have to create a Azure data lake storage. So how to create a Azure data lake storage? So search for the storage. Click on the open in a new tab. We are going to create one storage account. So we have created Azure data. We have created a SQL DB. We have created a three table, and we have stored our file in a GitHub. This is our source is ready. Now what we are going to do? We are going to create a storage account. So click on the create. After that, you have to select the resource group. You have to select the storage name. We are going to give the storage name as a POC storage something, but you can give any unique name, whatever the name you want, or I will give the retail project something. Make sure it should be unique, otherwise it will throw error. So this is the name I am giving, retail project. A reason you can select. I am going to use the same reason what we have selected in a SQL. Click on the next. Click on the next. Click on the review and the create. We have missed one thing. So as of now, if you will directly click on the review and click create, it is going to create a blob storage for you. But we are going to create a Azure data lake, right? So for that, what you have to do, come to the basic, go to the next. You can see enable hierarchy namespace, right? If you click here, it is going to create a Azure data lake storage. That is the only one change you have to do. Click on the review and create. And after that we have to click on the create, that then the deployment will start. Click on the create. Now the deployment will start for the Azure data lake storage. It is going to create a Azure data lake storage for us. So you can see deployment is complete. Click on the go to resource. What we are going to do, we are going to create a container. So you have to come into the data storage, click on the container. Here we are going to create one container name, and I will give the container name as a retail. You can give any name. So we are working for the retail client, so that's why I am writing the retail. Click on the create. So one retail container got created. Click on that, and here we are going to create a multiple directory. So what actually we are going to do, we are going to get all the data here, right? So for that, what actually I will use a branch. I am going to use a one branch layer. Click on the save. This is a one directory I am creating. I am going to create another directory, that is a silver. The name is giving silver, and third is gold. This is the three layer I am going to create. Means all the bronze data set will be available in a bronze layer, gold will be available in gold, silver will be available in silver. Now in a bronze also we have a multiple data source, right? So what actually I am going to do, I am going to use a transaction. So I will use a transaction. So I want to store all the transaction data into this transaction directory. I am going to store the store data into the store directory. and I am going to use a product data into the product directory, and I am going to use a one customer data into this directory, customer directory. So these are the multiple directory I have created. So what I have done, I have created one container. That container is a retail container. In this retail container, I have a multiple directories, bronze, gold, and the silver. Now in a bronze, I have created a multiple directory, customer, product, store, transaction. Here only I am going to store all the data. Now this is ready. Now after that, what actually we are going to do? So as of now, what we have done, let me show you. So we have created a multiple sources. So what we have done, we have created a Azure SQL DB, and we have created a multiple table. So we have a transaction table is available. We have a product table is available. We have a stored table is available, and we have a customer API data is available. This is the API. This is the API JSON data, and these are the SQL table. These are the SQL table. So this source is ready, and we have created the data lake storage. Now what we have to do, we have to bring this data into the Azure data lake storage. So what you have to do, you have to perform a ETL operation, and we have to do a Azure data factory setup. So we are going to do now Azure data factory, and we will create a pipeline, and we will try to bring the data into a ADLS. We will try to bring the data into a ADLS. So what actually I will do, I am going to create a Azure data factory. So in a search bar, search for the data factory, open a new tab. Here only we are going to create a data factory first. So first we have to set up a data factory. So what you have to do, click on the create. We are going to create a data factory. Select the resource group, give the data factory name. Make sure it should be unique. And the region also you can select. Click on the next. Click on the review and the create. And after that we had to click on the create, then the initial deployment will start. Click on the create. Let's wait it to complete. You can see deployment is succeed. Click on the go to resource, and this is the data factory got created. Click on the launch studio. It is going to open a Azure data factory studio, and here only we are going to create a pipeline which will bring the data. So you can see in the left side we have a multiple option in a home. The second is the author. Here only we are going to create a pipeline. So click on the new pipeline. What actually we want to do, we want to perform a copy data. So what we will do, we have to bring all the data from a SQL DB. So in a SQL DB we have a data, this three data, right? That we have to bring the data into the Azure data lake storage into this three folder. That is the first thing. And the second thing is like we have a data that is available into this API that we have to bring into the customer. So this, for that we have to create a pipeline. So I am going to create one copy data, and let me give the name as a store. So either you can parameterize this pipeline, or you can create a multiple pipelines to run. Okay, that is the two things you can do. As of now, what actually I am going to do, I am going to create a multiple pipeline, but the same pipeline also can work. So I am going to give the name as a transaction. What is the source? For the source you have to create a data set. My data set is SQL. So I am going to use Azure SQL database. Create a link service. Click on the new. Give the subscription name. Give the server name. Give the database name which we have created. And give the username and the password. Give the password also. Once you do that, click on the test connection. Click on the create. And after that, you have to select the table. So either you can select the table from here because you want transaction table, right? So you can select the transaction. So I'll select this transaction and click on the OK. Click on the OK. Now in this case, what is happening? Because I am not doing any parameterization, so this particular copy data, it is for the transaction only. Now this data I want to copy where? I want to copy into the data lake storage. So select the data lake storage, click on the continue. I want to store this in a Parquet format because that is good for the big data. Click on the new link service, select the subscription, select the storage account and click on the create. So I have selected my source and I have selected my sink also. And where you want to store? I want to store into the which folder, because this is a transaction data, right? So I want to store this data into a transaction. Click on the OK. Click on the OK. You can parameterize the source and the sink. That is the one thing you can do, or you can create a multiple pipeline. That is the option we have. But as of now, because we are doing just practice, I am creating a multiple, but we can do this parameterize. So because you will understand it better, that's why I'm creating a multiple pipeline here. Now the second is the I want to copy a product data. We have to create a new data set. Click on that. Where our data is available, SQL DB. Select the Azure SQL database. Click on the continue. We are going to use the same link service because the same SQL DB our table is available, and here you can select the product table. We have this product table, right, that you can select. Click on the OK. And where you want to copy in a sink, you go click on the data set. We want to store in a Azure Data Lake storage. Click on the continue. I want in a Parquet format. I select that. Link service, I will use the same link service for the data lake, because in a data lake only I want to store. Where you want to store? I want to store into this bronze layer in the product table. Click on the OK. Click on the OK. This will copy the data in a product table. Now I am going to use another, that is for the store. So what you have to do, go to the source. We are going to create our data is available in a SQL DB. So search for the SQL, Azure SQL database. A link service, you are going to use the same link service. Which particular table you want to copy? I want to copy this store table, so I'll use that. Click on the continue. Where you want to copy? So I want to copy into the data lake storage, so select that. As a Parquet format I want to select the link service, give the file path, retail, and this data I want to store into the store DB. Select the store DB, click on the OK. Here also source is ready, click on the OK. Now this name also you can change. This name I am going to change with the store. Now as of now I created the 3 copy data activity. One by one it will run. Now what actually I will do, I will create one more copy data activity, and what actually it will do, it will fetch the data from our API. This is the API. This will fetch the data from here. So I'll select that. I'll give the name as a customer. So for the customer, what is our source? So we are going to create a new data set where our data is available in HTTP, right? So I'm going to use HTTP for that. Click on the continue. It is available in a JSON format, so I'll select that. I am going to create a new link service for this because this is the API one. Now here you have to pass the URL, base URL. So what is a base URL? So till.com, whatever you see, right? That is nothing but a base URL. So copy this and paste here. So in a URL you can see this is the full URL, right? So in a GitHub, what you have to do, you have to go into this raw first. In a raw, if you will go, you will get this URL. So till.com, whatever you see, right, that is nothing but a base URL. and after that you have to give the authentication because it is a public. So I am going to use anonymous first. I'm going to click on the first test the connection, click on the create. After that relative URL, so whatever the rest URL, right, that you have to give into the relative URL. I am going to use a relative URL. Click on the OK. So this is the relative URL I have given. Now sync where you want to store the data. I want to store in a I want to store in ADLS only in a Parquet format. Continue. Link service. Select the same link service. Where you want to store in a retail container. We have a branch, and here only we want to store into the customer. Click on the OK. Click on the OK. So what actually it will do, it is going to copy here. So these are the things we have selected. So we have created a multiple copy data, and it is going to copy into the ADLS location. Now if you go to the setting, this all the things will be as it is. So we are not going to change this. Now if you had to test this, so what you have to do, you have to click on the publish all and you can publish, or if you click on the debug also, right, it is going to start the copy data. So let me click on the debug and let's see whether it is working fine or not. Click on the debug. Once you'll click on the debug, right, now our pipeline execution will start. So first the transaction data it will read and it will copy, then the product data it will read and it will copy, then the store data it will read and copy, then the customer data it will read from API and the copy. So let's wait it to complete, or let's see if any error comes. You can see transaction and product data already got copied, and now the store data is running, so you can see in progress here. You can see store data also got copied. It is succeed now. Now customer data from API it will fetch the data. So let's wait it to complete. It is also succeed. You can see all the four is succeed. Now if you want to check, what you have to do, go to the ADLS location. First see transaction data is available or not in a Parquet format. So you can see transaction data in a Parquet format, it is available. Means it got copied the data. Now where our second data is, second data is available in a store, whether store it got copied or not. You can see it got copied. Now our next is the product data is copied. Now our third is the customer. In a customer it created a multiple folder. What actually happened, because we have passed the relative URL, right? So based on every URL actually it created the one folder. So that is the thing, but that also we can handle. Click on this and let's see whether our data copied or not. That is the main thing. You can see our data is available. Means all the data got copied into the multiple location. Means we bring the data from a multiple sources to the single location. So as of now, what we have done, we have done all the data, we have fetched the data into a ADLS location. Now after ADLS, what actually we are going to do, we are going to read this file with the help of the Databricks. We are going to read this file with the help of the Databricks, and for that what we had to do, we had to do a mounting. We have to do a mounting, then only we will be able to read that. So let's see how actually we can do that. Now what I have done, I have opened a Databricks community edition. So what you have to do, first we have to create a cluster so that we will be able to execute. So go to the compute, click on the create compute. We are going to create one computation so that we will be able to execute. Click on the create compute. It is going to create one cluster. So once this cluster will be ready, we will be able to run, our PySpark code. Now after that what you have to do, go into the workspace, and here you can create any notebook. Click on the create and click on the notebook. One notebook will be created. So what I have done, I have created one folder. So click on the folder. One folder I have created, Azure Data Engineering project, and this is the one notebook I have created, this particular notebook. So I will open this. Now what actually we had to do, we had to execute, we had to first mount, we had to read the file which is available into our ADLS. So as of now we have copied this data into this particular container, right, this particular ADLS account. Now what actually we had to do, we had to read this through a Databricks. So for that what we had to do, we had to mount that location, and for that we had to write a PySpark code. So if you can see here, we have one connect option. You can see one cluster is creating. So we have created one cluster, right? Once the cluster will be ready, then only we'll be able to execute. So till then what actually we'll do, first let's try to understand what actually we are writing. So you can see this is the code for the mounting. What actually we are going to do, you can see this is the source. In a source we had to pass the container name. So what is our container name? Container name is retail, right? So this we will pass as a container name. My container name is retail, so I'll pass the retail. I'll pass the retailer. And after that the storage name. What is the storage name? Our storage name is this retail project, right? So that storage name I had to pass here. So I am going to use the storage name here. And here also we had to pass the storage name. This we had to pass. So this is our source. Source we have passed the container, we have passed the storage name. And after that mounting point, so this is the mounting point I am giving. I am entering in the retail, and after that the in configuration we have passed the this particular blob storage, and after that we had to give the secret access key. How to give the secret access key? So what you had to do, go to the security and the networking. You will see one access key. Make sure you don't share this with anyone. And what actually you have to do, because we are doing a project, right? So that's why we are going to use this particular key. Click on this, copy this, and once you do the copy, right, we have to paste here. We have to paste here. This is going to help us for the mounting. Now let's wait our cluster to ready. Once it will run, once it will be ready, we'll try to run this and we'll see whether we are able to read the file or not. Now you can see our cluster is ready. Now we will be able to execute our code. So what actually we are doing, we are mounting to this particular location. Means whatever ADLS we are going to mount into this location. Let's execute. Shift and enter if you do, it will execute it. You can see it is waiting, means it is running. Once it will execute, you should see the result whether it is succeed or it is failed. You can see it started running. You can see we are getting one directory already mounted. Some error is coming. So what actually we can give, we can give any other name. Retail project something I will give. Mount retail project, this is the name I am giving, and let me execute this. Now you can see it is true now. Now whatever the file was available, whatever the file is available in our ADLS. So if I'll go to the container, we should be able to read that. In a retail container, whatever the location we have, right, we should be able to read that. So if I'll show you, if I will write dbutils dot fs dot ls, and if I'll pass this particular location, this is the location where all the things got mounted. If I'll do this slash, if I'll run this, you can see bronze layer, gold layer, and the silver layer. So in a ADLS we have a bronze, gold, and the silver, right? And we are able to read that. So if I click on the bronze, right, we have a multiple customer, product, store, and transaction, whether we are able to read or not. So let's see. So if I'll pass bronze here, and if I'll give the slash, and if I'll enter this, you can see we are able to read customer, product, store, and the transaction. We are able to read that. Now if I'll pass the transaction here, transaction and the slash, if I'll do this, I should be able to read whatever is available in a transaction. So in under this transaction, right, you can see we have a one transaction Parquet file. Means I am able to see whatever the file is there. Means we are successfully mounted the ADLS location, and now we are able to read that. Now with that, what actually we are going to do, we are going to read the file, and we are going to create a multiple data frame. So this is the location, right? Now where our transaction data is available, if you have to read that. So what actually we are going to use, we are going to use the Parquet file, right? So I am going to use spark.read.parquet, spark.read.parquet if I'll do, and if I'll do, we are going to create one data frame df transaction spark.read.parquet, and this is the location, right? This is the location. If I'll pass here, make sure you also pass the header. This is the location I passed. Let me do df transaction spark.read.parquet. This is the transaction, and if I'll show you display df transaction, if I'll execute this, let's see whether we are able to read the transactions data or not. So whatever we have copied into the ADLS, whether we are able to read that particular file or not, this transaction.parquet, right? Let's see whether we are able to read that or not. So we have created one data frame by using a PySpark code. We are running the script, and let's see whether it is able to read this transaction data or not. So we are using a display df transaction. You can see now you can see we are able to read that, means whatever the data frame is there, right? We are able to read that. This is the data, transaction ID, customer ID, product ID, so all the things are there. Similarly, what actually we can do, we can create a multiple data frame. So this is the df transaction. So we are going to use one more for the df products, and also we are going to use one more for the df stores, df stores, and here we have to pass the location. So what is our ADLS? In a ADLS we have a product, right? So I am going to use a product here, and here I am going to use a store. Here we are creating a two more data frame, df product, df store, and the df transaction. So this is the three we are creating. Now if you want to see, so suppose I want to see the store data. So if I write df stores and let me execute, let's see whether we are able to read the store data or not. So it is creating a three data frame, df transaction, df product, and the df store. Now we are writing display df store, right? Means it will only read the df stores. So you can see in a store we have this all the data, store ID, store name, and the location. Similarly, if you want to read the product data, you can do the df products. If you write, it is going to read the df products. Let's see whether we are able to read or not. Yeah, we are able to read the product table also, product data also. Now we are going to create one customers. So for customer also we have a file, right? In ADLS we have copied the file. What actually we are going to do, I am going to give the data frame name as customers, df customers. So where our file is available in ADLS, if you will see, go in customer, right? What actually happened here, it got created the multiple location because of the API. We have a multiple relative URL, right? So that's why it created a multiple location. So what actually we'll do, we are going to give the full location here. So what actually you do, this is the customer Parquet we have to read, right? What actually you can do, click on that, click on the properties. This is the complete URL you will get. Copy this, go to the Databricks, just copy that particular URL, and you can see what we had to do. We had to pass this location, this branch, right? From this branch we had to pass till main. This you copied, this here you paste. So what actually we are doing from this retail project, from bronze to the complete location we have given, and if we are creating a new data frame customers. So if I will show you whether we are able to read or not, customer data, shift and enter I have done, it is executing. Let's see whether we are able to read the customer data or also not, because here multiple location got created, right? That's why we have given the this whole URL, and whatever the store location was there, that location we have passed here. So based on the location only you have to pass. Now you can see customer related data also we are able to read that. Means we have created a 4 data frame: transaction, product, store and the customer, and from ADLS we are able to read that. Now what actually we will do, we are going to create a silver data set. What is our next step? So till now what we have done, let's try to understand. So till now whatever the transaction data was available in Azure SQL, whatever the store data was available in Azure SQL, whatever the product data was available in Azure SQL, and whatever the customer data was available in a API JSON, this we have read. We have bring this all the data into a ADLS. We have bring this all the data into a ADLS by using a Azure Data Factory. Now what actually we are going to do, we have used a Databricks, and from this Databricks whatever the data is available, we have actually mounted it and we are able to read. Means whatever the data is available in a ADLS bronze layer, right, we are able to read from a Databricks. Now after bronze layer, means whatever the data you are reading from ADLS, right, that is nothing but a bronze layer. Now what we had to do, we are going to create a silver layer. What is a silver layer? In the silver layer we try to do a data cleaning. We try to do some kind of the data cleaning. Means whatever the data is available in a bronze layer, we try to read that and we try to clean the data. That is a silver layer. So after silver layer, what actually we'll do, we'll try to clean the data and we'll try to store into a ADLS location. So that is the thing we are going to do. So you can see creating a silver layer data cleaning. So what actually we are doing, so whatever the transaction data, whatever the data frame we have created, right, by reading the file, this DF transactions. So in this DF transaction, what actually we are doing, we are selecting the transaction ID, and what actually we are doing, we are converting into the proper format. Like its transaction ID should be integer, right? So I am converting into the integer. Customer ID also I am converting into the integer. Product ID also I am doing casting and integer. Means this kind of the casting I am doing so that it will convert proper type and it will clean the data. First I will show you the DF transaction how actually it looks like. So if I'll do display DF transaction, if I'll do, and if I'll execute, you will be able to see the data. Means these are the data we have. Now these are the data: transaction ID, customer ID, product ID, store ID, quantity. This contain integer data, right? So I'm converting this into a integer, and whatever the transaction data, right, this I am converting into the proper date. So you can see we have one more column, that is a transaction date. So that actually I am doing. So that is the first level of the cleaning I am doing into the first step. Now in a product table, so we have a product table, right? In a product table also what I am doing, product ID I am converting into the integer, and whatever the price, right, that I am converting into the float, because that contain the float value, double type. Similarly in a store also what I am doing and converting into the integer. That's how actually I am doing the cleaning as of now. And after doing that, what actually I am doing, I am also trying to whatever the duplicate values there in a customer ID, right, that actually I am trying to remove. So this kind of the cleaning operation I am doing. But suppose if you have a null values, that kind of the cleaning also you can do. But as of now I don't have. I am only doing the typecasting and I am only removing the duplicate values. So that is the thing I am doing. So let's see. Let me execute this. Once you will execute this, right, so from each data frame, you can see DF transaction got updated with the this all the typecasting value. DF product also got updated. DF store also got updated. Now once we have clean data, right, after that what actually I am doing, I am performing a joining. Means I am creating one DF silver, one silver data frame I am creating, and whatever the 4 data frame we have, right, I am trying to do the join. So what I am writing, DF transaction dot join. So this transaction data I am joining with the customer data frame based on the customer ID. Similarly, I am trying to join with the products based on the product ID. Similarly, I am joining with the store based on the store ID. And also I am creating a new column that name is the total amount, and what actually it is doing, it is doing the quantity into the price. So this other thing I am doing, I am creating one silver data set and I am trying to do the joining of this all the data set, and also I am creating one more column that is doing a column quantity into the column price. Let me execute and let me show you how actually it looks like. So this is the silver data set we have created. Now if I show you, now we have a one single data frame that contain all the data, all the customer, product, transaction, customer, every data is available into this particular data frame itself. So previously individually we had a data, right? Now the single data frame, all the kind of the data is available. You can see all the transaction data also is available, all the customer data is available, all the product data is available, everything is available. Means we have created one silver data set. In the silver data set we have performed a cleaning operation, and also we have do the joining, and we have created this particular data set. We have created this data set for us. This is a silver data set. Now what actually we'll do, we'll try to dump this. Where you want to dump? I want to dump into the my this ADLS, right? In a retail container I have a silver, one silver directory is there. In here only I want to dump it. So whatever the cleaning I have done, so how actually you can dump that? So what you have to do, you have to pass the particular location. So this is the mount retail project, and instead of bronze we will pass the silver. What I will do, I will give the path where you want to store. I want to store into the silver. This is the path actually I want to pass, and what I am writing, df silver dot write dot mode overwrite delta format, and this particular silver path actually I want to store as a delta. So click on that, shift and enter, because I want to create a delta table, right? So that's why I am using a format as a delta. Now let's see whether it is going to save that or not. Now we have it is executed. Now let's see, we'll go to the ADLS and we'll go into the retail container. In a silver, right? In a silver layer we have stored the data. You can see in a delta table it got stored as a Parquet format. Now if you had to read that, so what actually I want to do, I want to create one table. The table name is retail silver cleaned, and that will point to the particular location. So here we have a silver, whatever the clean data we have stored, right? I am reading that particular location and I am creating this particular table. So I am doing a drop table if any table with this name is exists, then drop it, otherwise create table, and this is pointing to this particular location. Now let me execute this. What actually we'll do, we'll remove this drop table, and let me try to do, because as of now we don't have any other table available. Now it is running. So you can see what actually it will do, it is going to create this particular table. It is going to read the file from a silver, whatever we have stored, and we will be able to write a query on this particular table. So let's see, you can see it is created. Now if you had to write any SQL, so what actually you can do, if I write %SQL, and if I write select, because one table got created, right, delta table, and if I write select star from this particular delta table, and if I'll execute this, you will be able to see, you can see we are able to read that, we are able to run the query, and we are able to read our silver data set. So this is the silver data set, and this you can share with your clients also. So we have created one silver layer data set. Now what actually we'll do, we'll come to the gold layer. Now as of now, what we have done, we have created from a bronze layer, we have read the file, we have cleaned the data, we have stored into the silver layer. Now from this silver layer, right, we'll try to read the file, and based on the business ask, whatever the from a business perspective, whatever the important, that only I will try to read that, and I will try to create one gold layer data set. So for that, what actually we had to do, first you had to read that. First you have to read the silver data set. So what actually I am going to do, this is the particular location where our file is available, right? So let's try to read that. I am going to read that. And this is a silver data frame I have created. Now what actually I am going to do, I am going to create one gold data set. So in this gold data set, what actually I am doing kind of the aggregation, means I am finding out what is the total quantity. What is the total quantity based on the transaction date, based on the product ID, based on the product name, what is the total quantity sold, what is the total sales amount, what is the number of transaction, what is the average transaction value. So this kind of the aggregation actually I am doing. So first I will show you in a silver data set what actually is available. So if I will do display, if first I will show you the silver data frame. In this silver data frame, you can see we have a multiple column like the quantity, transaction ID, first name, last name. But this all the columns are not important from a business perspective, right? So what business wants, they want to do a calculation like how many quantity actually got sold, what is the total sales amount, what is the number of transaction. So what actually I am doing the sum of quantity, sum of total amount, count of distinct transaction ID. This kind of the aggregation I am performing in the gold layer because this is what business wants. And only I am grouping whatever the column is important, like transaction date is important, product ID is important, product name is important, category is important. Means whatever the important, right, that only I am keeping, and whatever is not important I am just dropping into the gold layer. So that kind of the things I am doing. Now if I'll execute this, it is going to create one gold data frame. Now if I'll show you how actually it looks like. So gold layer is a more refinement layer, means here you will see what generally business needs, that data only you will see. So you can see I have a transaction data, product ID, product name, category, store ID is there, store name is there, location is there, what is the total number of quantity sold, what is the total sales amounts, number of transaction, average transaction, this kind of the data. Means you can see more refinement data is available in a gold layer. In a silver layer we had all the data, right? In a bronze layer we have all the data. In silver layer we had a clean data, but all the data. But in gold layer we only have whatever business wants, that related data, so that we can derive certain business metrics. Now this also I want to dump into the gold paths. How actually you can dump that? You can use the same. So I want to dump this into a gold path. So this data set I want to write into this particular location, a gold. In ADLS we have a gold path, right? Here only I want to write that. Execute that. So whatever the data is available in a gold layer, right? And that is going to execute, and it is going to store into this gold path in a ADLS location. Let's see if we are able to do that or not. Still executing. It succeed now. Go to the ADLS, go to the retail projects, go to the retail, go to the gold layer. In a gold layer we have a delta table. This is the table, this is the data we have stored. Now if you want to read that, if you want to create a table on top of this, how actually you can do that? You can pass this particular location, it is going to create that. and this you can remove. So I'm going to create retail gold sales summary, and if I'll execute this, let's remove this. Let me execute again. Oh, now let me execute this. One table got created. This is a retail gold summary. Now if you want to write any SQL query here, you can write that. If I'll do select star from this particular table, I will be able to see the gold data set. Now on top of this, you can create any kind of the visualization. On top of this, you can create any kind of the visualization. So what actually we are going to do? We are going to open a Power BI, and we are going to create some kind of the visualization. So I open a Power BI desktop. So I'm going to create one new report, blank report. I will select this one, get data. Click on the get data, and here you will see you have a multiple operation, multiple thing. From there you can access your data. So if you have data is available in text, CSV, all the things through which actually you can connect that, warehousing, Azure SQL database, Azure data lake, all the things are available. Blob storage also there, means everything is available, and you will be able to access the data. So you can see, if you go into the file, you will see these are the file. Go to the database, you will see these are the database. From a Fabric also directly you can do. From Power BI platform, from Azure, these are the things are available, like SQL database, Synapse is there, Blob storage is there, Cosmos DB is there. Even Databricks also you can directly connect. Synapse Analytics also you can connect. Online services also is there. Others also, these are the things are available. So you can connect from this all the places, because in a Databricks we are using a free edition, right? So what actually as of now we will do, either you can connect that directly or the SQL database, or as of now what actually we can do, we'll just try to dump the file. So what actually I will do, this particular data we have, right, I will just try to download it. I have downloaded this particular file. I'll go to the Power BI and I'll try to read that. So if let's first show you whether it's got downloaded or not. Go to the download. You can see it got downloaded as a CSV file. So I am going to use a file as a CSV. So select the text CSV, click on the connect. If you are using Azure Databricks directly, you can connect to the Databricks itself. That is the facility we have. But as of now, we are using a free edition, right? That's why I am just downloading and I am selecting that. Now we are going to create a visualization. So I'll show you how to create a visualization also. You can see this other data we have. Click on the load. You can see it is loading the data. It loaded the data. If you want to see the data in the right side, you can see we have a data option, and here we have all the column. And if you want to see more, in the left side, right, click on the table view. Here also you will be able to see your data, all the transaction data, product data, everything. Now go to the report view, and here we can create a visualization. So you can see one text box is there. So I'll select that. In a text box, what I will do, first I will going to create one header. And what is the name I am going to do? I am going to give the name as a this is a retail project, right? So I am going to give the name as a projects retail projects. Make sure this, improve this size, retail projects, bold, in a center, retail projects. So this kind of the things actually I am doing. So one header actually I created. Now if you want to change the background, how actually you can do that? So select that. In a format text, right, we get a multiple option. and that option you can select. So if you will come here and go to the effects, background, right? Background is white, but suppose you want in a blue color, or suppose you want in a some other color, that actually you can select. So as of now I am going to select this retail projects. Now this background also you want to change, so select this, go to the format, background, it is a white, right? So if you want to select any other color, that actually you can select this as selected. Transparency, make sure it should be 0, so that it will be, you will be able to see that. I like this. Now we have created a header, and also we have created this. Now if you want to build a visualization, so suppose you want to know what is the total number of sales. So if I'll what actually I'm going to do, I'm going to create one card. So click on the card. This is the card we have. Select that. Here I want to see what is the total sales. So you can see it is showing me the total sales amount. This is showing me the total sales amount. Now this you want to do a modification, right? Click here, and here you will be able to see that. Suppose you want to change the color or anything, that actually you can do. Go to the general option. Background also if you want to change, suppose I want to make it this, so this actually you can do, but I'm going with a white only because it looking good. Border, so suppose border also you have to add, that also you can do that. Now you can see it's rounded, right? Now it is looking good. So similarly, what I will do, I'll just control C and control V, copy and paste I will do. Now if I select here, so previously I was showing the total sales amount, right? But I want to see total quantity sold. So you can see the total quantity sold is 101. Similarly, if you want to know what is the number of transactions, so what actually you can do, control C, control V. If you will do, I want to see the what is the total number of transactions. So we have a number of transaction column, right? So you can see 30 is the total transaction. Now I want to see based on the transaction date how actually the total sales is happening. So if I'll select the line chart, I'm going to create one line chart. Click on this, and in this line chart I want to see based on the transaction date how the number of sales is happening, total sales amount. So you can say it is showing me the based on the year, how the sales is happening. But suppose you want to see based on the month, so you can select the month from here. So you can see month wise how their sales is happening month over month. So this is the one visualization I have created. Now if you want to see the number also, click on the format visual, click on the data label, you will be able to see that. Now if you want to make it proper, right, go to the effects. This also I want to make the border. You can see it is looking good, right? So this is the one visualization I have created. Now suppose I want to see another visualization. What actually I want to see, let me delete this. I want to create one pie chart. In this pie chart, what actually I want to do, what is the total sales by the store name. So you can see this will tell me what is the total number of sales is happening by the store name. Now same kind of the format I want to apply here. So what you have to do, click here, go to the format painter, click here, it will apply the same kind of the formatting. Now you can increase the size. So you can see these are the store name and this is the total sales is happening. Similarly, suppose I want to see another thing based on the product name, what is the product name, how their sales is happening. So I want to create a one more bar chart. Select this, based on the total sales, how their based on the product, how their sales is happening. So you can see this is the number, and if you want to format printer, if you want to do here, you will be able to do this. So like that, actually we can create a multiple visualization and we can share with them. Now suppose I want to do more thing based on the category, how their total quantity is getting sold. So what I will do, I'll create a pie chart again, or donut chart I will create. I'm going to create a donut chart. What I will do, total quantities sold based on the category. So you can see based on the category what is the total quantity sold, you can see. This one I will make the pie chart. And if you want to make the same format, click on this, click on this. So like that we can easily create a visualization. So first we have cleaned the data in a Databricks layer, and here we are providing this all the kind of the visualization. So this will look good for the so this will be easy for the business to make some decision. Now suppose let's see more. What is the average transaction? What is the average transaction value based on the location I want to see? So I am going to create one uh, column chart, and here based on the transaction value, how their product is getting sold. So this is another chart I am creating. And if you want to format in the same way, click on the format printer, select that. It will be formatting in the similar way. And if you want to adjust this, right, you can adjust. Now one more I want to create. Suppose I want to create based on the store name, how their total sales amount is getting sold. So if I'll do this, you can see based on their store name, what is the total sales amount. This is the graph I want. I will make this format printer like this. So like this, actually we can create a chart. We can create a graph and we can share with the stakeholders. Now if you want to do more formatting, that also you can do, but I hope you got the idea how to create a data set, how to create a pipeline, and how to build a report. And this report, actually you can make it more, you can do more formatting, and here you can add a more formatting so that it will looks good. But I show you like how to create a dashboard and all. I hope you got the idea. Please do practice.